All right, here we go. Yes. Welcome back. It's the Music Guy Podcast, live from the dark depths of Markham, Ontario, and on YouTube here on our YouTube channel, Music Guy Podcast. Welcome. My name is Al Rowe. This is a podcast about two working musicians here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and the surrounding area. My name's Al Rowe. I play music for a living. I sing, I write songs, play guitar, I make records, and I teach. None of which I'm doing right now. My co-host, roommate, eater of rice crackers, Michael Hebbs.
Hey. What's up?
How's that intermittent fasting going for you, Mike?
Actually, I'm eating earlier than I should.
That's what I mean. You haven't eaten at all today. You're starving.
Yeah, I mean, I'm eating half an hour earlier than I should. And I'm eating rice crackers. I don't normally buy rice crackers, but the world's ending, so I don't give a shit.
Fair enough. Welcome to this episode. We're happy that you're here. And we're going to today be talking about the effect of COVID-19 on the music community that we are a part of here, and the fact that most of us seem to have lost almost all of our work overnight. So we're going to get into that and get into sort of what we can do as musicians and sole proprietors to keep above water here. And before we do that, I'd like to take a quick second, shout out the old YouTube page, youtube.com/Music Guy Podcast, where you could be watching this recording live and unedited right now.
So anything we say that's bad,
you get to hear it.
Yeah.
You get to hear it. You could clip it. You could record it. You could post it on the internet and tell everybody how awful we are. You
could flag it as inappropriate, and then you'll never see us again.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
You could also say something in our chat live and contribute to the show that way. So we would love it if you came on over to youtube.com/Music Guy Podcast, checked out the live stream, but also checked out the 10-step mix video series where you can learn how to mix a song in 10 easy steps. Also the Melodyne introduction video and the comping vocals introduction video, which came out just a couple of weeks ago. And finally, the 1 hour speed mix video that we released just last week. So we would love it if you came over there and gave us a like, gave us a follow on YouTube, and checked out those videos. And hopefully they help you guys out a little bit in your quest to become rock star music producers. Other than that, we've got a sweet Facebook page, right?
Yeah.
YouTube, Music Guy Podcast that you can check out there. We've got an Instagram at Music Guy Podcast.
I'm falling behind on that, but I'll catch up.
Yeah. So lots of ways to engage with the show. So please feel free to do so. And we also answer questions every week. So if you have a question, please feel free to ask it on any one of those platforms. We would love to answer it for you.
Have you been reading the messages we get from our message box on our website?
I have.
Those, but some of them are like spam and
I
really
think
weird.
Almost all of them
are.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like from some dude. It's like dude's name, and then he'll send a word like blossom.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's like,
it's bizarre.
What's going on there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was one from like some kind of what sounded like a bank or some kind of business or something. And the message was withdrawal. So I feel like people, these bots or whatever, these things are just crawling the internet and just sort of trying to type in words that might result in taking money out of somebody's bank account. I don't know.
Ooh,
that's what I'm assuming their play is.
I gotta stop eating these crackers. They're just ruining the podcast. I should have got a less noisy food.
Have Have you seen that Simpsons?
Yes, I know.
Where they're like, there's some kind of grinding sound on the tape, and it's just Marge grinding her teeth. Because what's that lady's name? Lorleen Lumpkin.
No idea.
When Homer becomes a music producer. Great episode. Anyways, let's get into it here. Lots changed in our community here since last week, or even a couple weeks ago.
Everybody's worried for money.
Yeah, not a lot of work going around for anybody really, musicians included. But lots of people are either working from home or not at all. If you're part of, say, the restaurant business, or if you, I think they're going to close most non-essential stores as well. So if you worked at a place like Best Buy, for example, where I just bought this sweet brand new camera that we're using today,
sweet cams,
you're probably not working. So things have changed. I wanted to start by following up on a rant that I made 2 or 3 episodes ago, where Mike kind of brought up coronavirus in, I think, like a light kind of silly kind of way, right?
Oh yeah.
And I kind of sounded off a little bit on just how I thought that the whole situation was getting blown way out of proportion by the media, and that everybody needed to chill out and relax. And
if people die, it's your fault.
I apologize. I misunderstood the severity of the situation, as I'm sure a lot of us did. And I should have treated it more seriously than I did. All that being said, I still stand by what I did say in the rant, which was wash your hands, get your flu shot, which doesn't directly relate to coronavirus. But if you want to stop the spread of disease in general, getting a flu shot is a good thing to do. Being careful about what media you are consuming and thinking about what the intentions behind that media are.
Yeah. So, I mean, because I feel like you were once again, we're not doctors, but from what I looked into, I think you were right in what you said, that it is blown out of proportion. It's serious because it's like a new thing, and it can be, we don't have like immunities or like a vaccine for it. But I definitely think that it is in a way being blown out of proportion. Like I'd rather us be taking extra steps, like we are, and taking it out of proportion so that it doesn't get bad. But from what I've looked into it, the media is playing it up to try to get like a panic going, and you know what I mean, and making it serious. Like influenza is definitely more deadly, and more people die, as a result. From what I was looking into it, more people will die because of influenza, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I don't really know what I'm talking about, but it seems like it is being blown up by the media and the things like that. Stupid people buying the toilet paper and people buying all the hand sanitizer is kind of a result of that. So you're right away.
Well, I think you got to consider what the intentions of the source of your information are.
Yeah.
Are they trying to keep you safe, or are they trying to keep you watching and keep you watching ads and get you fired up, get you into a panic state, and influence your decision making as a result? And even now, and I think that this situation is extremely serious right now. And it is extremely important that we follow the guidelines that are being given to us by our governments and our health care professionals.
By JT?
Yeah, JT. Indeed.
He's looking rough.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Yeah, well,
his wife's got coronavirus.
His wife has it. He's probably going to be.
That's a rough deal.
Yeah. So I just did want to circle back on that and say that I do believe now, after what has come to light over the last couple of weeks, that the situation is extremely serious, and people need to be taking all the precautions they possibly can. First and foremost, which would be not going out into public unless it's absolutely necessary.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, but dude, the big thing for me is I do think, like you wrote down in the notes, media frenzy. I think that's a thing to avoid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no need for all the toilet paper to be gone in the stores. There's no need for the hand sanitizers. That's more people trying to sell it, the hand sanitizer. There's people on like Amazon selling it for like like $70 for like a 4-pack.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of behavior is pretty disgusting to me.
Yeah.
If you're going out there and buying buying up essentials,
like diapers.
What you're doing is you're taking that stuff away from the people who are most at risk and need it the most.
So I read an article about a guy, and it was supposed to be like a sad piece about how he bought 30,000 bottles of sanitizer and Amazon locked down his account. And I'm like, no, like that's what's supposed to happen. Good on Amazon for doing that. eBay's doing that as well. Because when you think about it, if he buys 30,000 things of hand sanitizer, he bought them from like stores locally. He's like doing retail arbitrage. And there's got to be at least one person who didn't get that hand sanitizer who's going to pass it on to someone else. And people are going to die as a result of that one man's actions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally. And I think it's difficult for folks to think about a threat like this and understand it because it's invisible. You can't see it. You can't touch it. You can't smell it. Right? And even if you're like, well, I feel healthy. You feel healthy. I'm going over to my friend's place. They say they're okay. It's like, that's all well and good. But if you're in contact with more than one person at one time, somebody could be carrying it, not realizing it.
Got 7 days.
Spreading it around.
Minimum,
And then what people, I think, fail to see is that spreads out in a web where each one of us knows at least one person in our life who you would consider to be at risk, right? If they get this disease, it's going to be real bad news for them. If you or I get it, it's probably going to be okay.
Great. It'll be a great time.
People with underlying health conditions, people of older age, very young children, these are the groups that people are most worried about. So, everybody,
children.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody's got somebody in their life that's at risk. And then even if you don't, you could spread it to somebody else who has somebody in their life who's got somebody at risk, or they could spread it to somebody else who's somebody. So it's sort of like this infinite web of possibilities. And the best way to sort of quell this thing is for folks to just stay home.
Hop onto Pro Tools for the next 2 weeks and just start your next album.
Exactly. So I would really encourage folks to do that. And I would encourage folks to not hoard essentials. And I think as silly as it sounds, like when all the major sports leagues shut down, like that's when I knew that this was, to me anyways, that's what told me this is a very, very serious situation. Halting that kind of business. And then Vegas is shut down. And then,
not Vegas.
But I mean, all these institutions that just make so much money. For them to say, we're going to stop making money now. Like you got to know that's a super serious situation.
There's allegedly a bar in Barrie that's going to try to stay open for St. Patrick's Day.
Oh my goodness.
And I don't know if it's trying to stay open until, because tonight apparently, isn't tonight St. Patrick's Day? So I think tonight at 12, all bars have to close. I don't know if that bar is going to stay open past 12 and just eat the $2,000 fine, or if it's, if it's just going to close at 12. But I think Saturday was the big day for St. Patty's. So it's probably passed by now. I think most of the public at this point sees the risk. I hope they do. I was out this past weekend, not at like a big St. Patty's gathering, but I did go out for a friend's birthday. And I don't know if I should have or not. I probably shouldn't have. Didn't really understand the gravity of the situation until later on the Saturday evening. Is when it really sort of came full on to me as like, this is what's happening. But I mean, I think at this point, like I canceled my teaching yesterday, and that's just one-on-one lessons with kids. But there's a solid 100 to 200 people that walk in and out of that lesson center every day. Those kids, some of them are young. Some of my students are older. They've got grandparents. Their parents could be at risk. They have friends. Like this thing can spread like crazy, right? So I haven't visited my own parents since this went down. I'm very concerned with unnecessarily exposing people to this virus, even though the chances are I don't have it. But
there's
have
a chance
a predicament
that I could.
My parents have a bunch of tools at their house that I want to use because I'm going to have a lot of free time. So I want to go and use those tools and just not I'd love to see them, but just not see them so
Yeah.
that they don't die.
Right.
Because I don't want to just sit around for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
What do I do, Al?
I don't know, man. I mean,
what do I do?
It's a
Give me
tough
advice.
it's a tough situation.
It's a tough time.
I mean, maybe I'm going a little bit overboard here,
Yeah.
but I would just say
panic.
Use your
Start looting.
definitely don't panic, but just
Start
understand how. And everybody should check out the Joe Rogan podcast with. Did you listen to that one yet?
That yet.
I can't remember the gentleman's name.
JR
that he had on. I'll look that up right now. But it was a podcast about how diseases spread and how that whole thing kind of works.
Mm.
And this gentleman's name is.
Well, I mean, you start out eating bats, and then that bat gets into your bloodstream, and then this is not as funny as it sounds.
Michael Osterholm is the gentleman's name, and he's sort of a disease specialist in disease control, and sort of he calls himself a detective of disease. He's trying to find out how these viruses start, how they spread, how to stop them. And they go into detail about sort of what a pandemic like this looks like. So far more educated folks than me to go listen to, and I encourage people to do so.
I feel like we shouldn't even talk about any tips because we don't know what we're talking about.
No,
go to a pro.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But
you got time. You got tons of time.
Yeah. But if people are not sort of doing their part in terms of staying home, I would really encourage you to do so. So I think that wraps up that whole sort of situation.
Yeah, it's a rant.
So that being said, all of our gigs have been canceled.
Yeah. My brother lost a boatload of money. The Junos were canceled.
Junos got canceled. Will was supposed to play that.
Yeah.
I had a show this week. That's done.
So I think I was on that with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a bummer.
With Carly June out in
June.
Listowel.
Good
That's
girl
gone.
for being a part of canceling that though. Very responsible decision. I think it was the venue, but
yeah, I mean they pretty much had to, right?
Yeah, good for them.
So that's just good for them. I mean, that's just what's happening. So teaching, I went ahead and canceled my days. That the lesson center is still open. I don't think that's a good idea, and I'm pretty certain they'll be closed pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have a lot of and a lot of people getting affected way harder than that with like entire tours getting canceled.
Yeah, I know someone who's in Europe right now, and he's just like, okay,
yeah,
when am I coming home?
Yeah, exactly, right. So what are we gonna do?
What do you mean? What are we gonna do in the meantime?
I mean, like we still have to pay rent.
I'm just wondering, when is it socially acceptable for me to, walk into Home Hardware and be like, this store is mine. This is mine. And, board up the windows and get my zombie plan in effect because it's the same shit. You know what I mean? Just now I can't go around, hugging my friends. You're all welcome to come. But when is it cool for me to do that?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be ahead of the curve that I'm going to get arrested.
You want to be enough ahead of the curve, though, that you get there first.
That's exactly it. Because Home Hardware is a sweet spot.
That's where you want to be.
Yeah. Build some cool stuff, grow some plants, make some weapons. You know what? I know that this is not serious, but if this were an apocalypse, what would your apocalypse weapon be?
That's a great question.
Yeah, I know what mine is.
Probably some kind of gun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But we don't have guns. We're musicians.
Well, you would have to find one.
You'd have to kill someone. Are you willing to kill for a gun, Al?
Oh, my gosh. I don't know, man.
My apocalypse weapon, wrong answer, by the way, is a flail.
Okay.
The stick with the chain and the ball of spikes. Because I feel like a sword fight you could make sense of. Somebody comes at you with a sword and you have a sword, you got like a pretty good shot. Not a flail. You know what I mean? What do you do with that?
How are you going to acquire a flail?
Home Hardware. I'm going to make one. I made my bass traps. I made my sound panels. Actually,
enough.
You made 2 of them for me and just gave them to me. It was really nice. So I'm gonna, that's my apocalypse plan. So if stuff goes actually to the shit, and we'll tell you when it does. Just wait for that.
We'll be on the cutting edge for sure.
We'll be on the cutting edge. Then, just come to Home Hardware and mark them. We'll have a great time.
All right. Yeah, if we know you, you can come in.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think the easiest solution for musicians in the short term is Skype lessons. I see a lot of people offering that. A lot of great musicians are offering that service.
Particularly one person who posted an ad, and it's a very good deal.
Our boy Dave Kirby.
Yes, he was asking, how do you make money in slow times? And then he figured it out.
That's true. He did ask that the other week.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
And so he's offering a deal where you get a lesson with him, and you're going to get a lesson with Nathan Whitney, who's the guitar player for Thomas Rhett.
Yeah.
That's a sweet deal.
Sweet deal.
Yeah.
It's never been a better time to...
Dave Kirby on Instagram.
Yeah. Dave Kirby, great guitar player. Nathan Whitney, also very, very great guitar player. So there's never been a better time to hit people up for lessons.
Yeah.
Because everybody's down to do it. So
or to binge podcasts.
Binge podcasts. Yeah. I know that my lesson center at Long and McQuaid is already talking about switching over to video lessons. I know your situation.
That's what I'm doing after this.
So I think that's very wise. So if you do teach at a location, or even if you do house calls, I would strongly encourage you to explore that option with your students or with your employer and be like, hey, can we just do Skype lessons instead? Because, I don't expect students to keep showing up to lessons anyways, but even if they do, as I said before, I didn't feel, I felt irresponsible going into work. Mm-hmm. And I just said, you know what, this isn't a good move. So Skype lessons is a great alternative. Of course, that doesn't make up for the lost money, because not every student's going to want to do that.
Yeah.
You might not be able to charge the same amount. Hopefully you still can.
I think you should be able to charge at least the same amount, because when you think about it, in the comfort of their own home, they're getting a lesson. Now now obviously you don't get to like move, their hands if they're doing stuff wrong.
Yeah.
But they don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
That's worth something.
Yeah. My intention is to keep my rates the same.
Right.
And so hopefully that's possible, but it doesn't change the fact that we lost a bunch of performing work too, right?
So much.
Weddings, corporate, festivals, live gigs, bar gigs, even though, like you said before, all the bars are getting closed down. So there's literally nothing. So for a lot of us, that's a huge chunk of our income that's not coming in anymore. So what else can we do? I read today that there's going to be an announcement from
3 people.
Yeah, we got 3 people watching. What's up, 3 people?
Yeah. Why are you watching and not saying anything? I apologize for being so interruptive.
I'll start the segment again. It's no problem.
3
Welcome.
people.
Feel free to throw something in the chat there.
Who are these 3 people? And we got one like.
We would love to know who you guys are.
Yeah, what the heck?
So I was reading today that there is potentially government aid coming.
True that.
There's going to be an announcement today or tomorrow, I think, from the Prime Minister, and they're rolling out some funds, I think like millions or like $1 billion or something, to help folks like you and I who, we don't have an employer that's got our back. We don't have really anyone to turn to in this sort of situation. So hopefully there'll be some money out there from the government that we can apply for, and folks in other disciplines obviously as well can apply for. And hopefully they're also talking about relaxing the April 20th tax deadline.
That's nice.
Which doesn't affect us as much because we're self-proprietors. So our deadline is not till June, but still that is helpful because we pay interest from April 20th on our tax return, even though our deadline is not till June. So if that gets relaxed, that would help. They may be asking the banks to stop charging mortgage payments for a little while.
Yeah.
So if that happens and you rent, you should no longer be paying rent. So
that's fair.
Keep your eyes on the news, because if your landlord isn't paying for their mortgage, you should not be paying for
that.
The
is
rent.
Very fair. That's very reasonable, Al.
Yeah. So make sure you're looking out for yourself. And I know, hey, what's up, Jesse
Slack?
How are you? Thanks for checking in.
You know what he's doing? This is like way off topic, but he's doing a 90s country event. It got canceled, but it's going to be rescheduled, right, Jesse?
That's nice.
Yeah, so he's doing a 90s country. Him and oh gosh, I've forgotten her name. Mackenzie Lee Meyer.
Right on. Yeah.
And Jeff Brown, I think, is playing it. Craig's playing bass.
Excellent.
And they got like a lap steel guy. That's gonna be real fun.
Dope.
So I hope he survives.
Yeah. I hope you're able to get that rescheduled.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, everything's gonna come back to normal at some point, right?
Yeah. Oh,
like,
yes.
It's the world is not literally ending, but it's just.
But it'd be kind of cool.
We have to do some stuff. It'd be kind of cool. We have to do certain things in the meantime just to sort of get by, right? So. Yes, date TBD. All right, TBD. Jesse. Well, let us know. We'll shout out. We'll be happy to shout out the show once you get a date. Definitely let us know.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
So where was I? So yeah, just keep your eyes on the news. I know it can be kind of a weird spot for people to be asking for help or be asking for what you might think is like, oh, well, feels like I'm on welfare, or feels like I'm on EI or something. It's like this is the situation that we're in right now.
Yeah, it's better than you going to work when you shouldn't go to work and then getting people sick. That's what they want you to do. They want you to stay home and not get people sick.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is that's
do you
precisely
think
it.
that the aid that's coming financially for people is going to be extended to people that are contractors, or do you think it's going to be 9-to-5ers only?
I think it's going to be everyone.
It better.
I mean, I hope so.
Yeah.
And I do believe that there has been a point made that there are folks like us out. A lot of folks like us working for ourselves or working as independent contractors or what have you, where, some people who, work for big companies, they're still going to get paid.
Yeah.
They're working from home or,
because
a lot of folks can work from home and that's great.
Yeah.
And they get paid for that. Or if they do have to take a leave from their job because they can't do it from home, there's still some support for them from their companies. But there's a lot of people out there like us, not only in music, but in all sorts of different disciplines who we can't really work from home. We can do Skype lessons, but that's a small part of.
And plenty of musicians I know don't teach.
Yeah.
Which is an odd move.
Well,
I don't know why certain people don't
kind
teach.
Of be down to not teach. So I think the aid, I'm hoping that the aid is going to be there, and I think we should all just keep, and we'll keep you guys up to date as well.
What are you going to do with all this free time, man?
Well, let me tell you. Yeah, let me get into it.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of free time on our hands, and I mean, we've already kind of been going down this road when we started this podcast last year, which is we're looking for what you would call like a side hustle, right?
Yes. Like, yes. We should talk about those all the time.
Yeah. So it's like, what other sort of things can we do with our time where we can sort of build towards sort of adding another spoke to the wheel of that is our career.
Yeah.
You know? So
maybe something that also kind of ties in with the skills that we have already and stuff like that. And it's not like a thing where it's not as much like, well, anyone could do this job. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, you can flip burgers to
anyone can start a podcast.
That's exactly it. This is true. But not everyone has the balls.
Not everybody has the deep knowledge that we have.
Deep knowledge of
the music industry.
I mean, you got a webcam, you're a handsome guy. I mean, put X and Y together.
There you go.
And then you get a few results for that equation.
Darn right you do. So, I mean, that's one of the things that we did early on. I mean, why not? If you've been thinking about it, now would be a great time to fire up a podcast and try that, YouTube content. Musicians already do this all the time.
Yep.
It's not the most lucrative thing in the world, but it does help build your brand. It's something to do. You might find you really enjoy it.
It's something to do, and it's like a hobby, and it is fun, but like you could eventually get money from it.
Yeah, it can eventually turn into money. And at the very least, when things do get back on the rails, in terms of gigs and stuff, if you're building your brand through something like a podcast or a YouTube channel, everything feeds everything else. So you should be able to get, maybe more gig opportunities or more teaching opportunities or whatever you're looking to do because you have a channel that people are following.
Yeah. With a YouTube account or a podcast, it's like big part of getting gigs. It's like, are you a weirdo? You know what I mean? If you're a weirdo, then people don't want to work with you, right?
That's true.
But if they listen to your podcast or they watch your YouTube, they're like, oh, this guy isn't a bad guy.
Yeah.
And then they see maybe some videos of you shredded and, X and Y math.
So it's already a great way to grow your lesson base or your gig base. So now's a great time to invest some energy into that. Hey, what's up? We got five people watching.
And
welcome,
one
folks.
thumb.
One thumb.
I wonder what these 5 people are.
Yeah.
It's weird. Can you click on it and be like, yo.
Between the 5 of them, they should have 10 thumbs, right?
That's true.
No, it doesn't let you see.
I mean, that's prejudice.
Who's watching? But thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying it.
So we lost one.
Yeah. It's like, we they know about my no thumbs.
I'm not contributing to the thumb department.
Hey, we got another thumb there. That's nice.
This sweater's in rough shape.
So
YouTube,
great. Yeah. That's your job this week.
Yay.
So also, I mean, obviously we're doing that with this podcast as well. And now we're sort of getting into this YouTube live stream situation.
You're twitching? You're doing Twitch?
And then, so Twitch, I've started a Twitch channel. It's a little bit, I've talked about it a little bit before, but I'm doing this thing now called Music Mondays.
Music Mondays.
Yeah.
Wow. Very
Basically
creative.
what I did is I employed like a very high level ad executive. And I was like, think of something to call this.
And they're like, alliteration is
good. And they're
like,
Music Mondays. And I was like, this is why you
make the. Did you actually? Was that sarcasm?
That was sarcasm.
Okay,
I just decided to start playing little house concerts on Twitch. So that's every Monday. I also do a little bit of gaming on Twitch as well. So, and a mix of both too. I've been doing like, if I get 3 followers, I'll play a song.
I see. Yeah,
so I'll be playing whatever game. And then if 3 people follow, there's like a little ticker at the top. And it's like, when we get to this number, we play a song. And then people request, I just usually say like, hey, throw out some artists. Like, who do you guys like? And instead of asking for like exact songs, because the chance of me knowing them is pretty slim. And then it's sweet. I mean, I'm already sitting in front of my computer. So if I kind of know the song, I can pull up a lyric or a chord and lyric thing. It's right in front of me. And it's been fun. Honestly, I've covered a couple songs that I never would have thought that I would have ever covered. And I was like, this actually kind of works.
Yeah.
It gets me thinking about music I might add to my repertoire in the future. And it's fun to just engage with people. And
I feel like it's a fresh way to kind of like almost appreciate your own skills and be like, oh, this is actually pretty cool that I can do this.
Yeah. And it's just fun. I don't know. And I've already had a few people be like, oh yeah, well, I'll go check out your Spotify, or I'll like, how can I get your record? And it's like, okay, sweet. So
pay me money.
It's not a huge thing, but it's something I enjoy doing. I already like play a bunch of video games anyway, so I might as well turn it into something that can expand my reach as a musician. I just find it fun. So that's also worth looking into if you have the personality type where you might want to try to do that kind of stuff. Do you have any other sort of advice for folks?
For side hustles?
In terms of, ways that you can, or just things to do with your time.
There's a really cool post by a podcast called the Side Hustle Podcast.
Oh, sweet.
And it's just a cool podcast in general. But he has a post and it's 200 different ways to make money on the side. And so problem being is a lot of them won't work. Not a lot of them. I'd say probably like 30% of them won't work because of like the pandemic. Is it at pandemic level? We're in a pandemic now.
Yeah,
okay.
That's the word they're using.
Yeah, the P word. So it has a big list, and it's just to get juices flowing. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But there's things like, did you know for Uber Eats, you don't have to have a car that's as new as 5 years. It can be up to 20 years old.
For Uber Eats.
Yes. So once again, and I mean, it's like, oh, I don't want to drive Uber Eats.
I mean, that one may not work for
the pandemic,
this current situation, but
just knowing things like that,
right?
For future, after when we have a slow winter, it's like when winter comes up.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's better than not making your rent? Driving Uber Eats a little bit.
Or I mean, people do that on bicycle, right?
Yep. Get some exercise.
Yeah, it's a good way to sort of stay in shape.
But there's
downtown.
There's other stuff like that. Like there's more long term stuff. Like one dude, what he would do is he'd buy like raw land.
Okay.
Yeah, he'd buy like raw land, and he has a whole podcast around it. And like it was his way of investing, but it's full time living now. And it's just like little side hustles like that. I mean, obviously, Start a Podcast was on there, but tons of weird stuff. Like there's a thing called TaskRabbit, and TaskRabbit is someone needs a job done, they just post it on TaskRabbit. It could be a job like I need you to lift something, and they put the money on there, I think, or they could be like I need you to assemble this IKEA furniture. And it's on there. You know what I mean? So stuff like that. You should check it out. It's the Side Hustle Podcast, and it's a post of just 200. We'll find it because we have all the time in the world. 200 different ways to do side hustling.
How about Fiverr? Have you used Fiverr at all?
Fiverr, yeah. Fiverr is like 5-minute jobs, right?
I didn't know that. As far as I could tell, it was like a way to get people to do graphic design for you or to get music made for you.
It could. I think it's anything that's a 5-minute job. So say for instance, this is an example that I can't confirm, but say for instance, if this worked, if you were a notary and you could sign on documents, which I don't think you can do online, you could do it on there if it's legal. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Anything that's like a quick job for a quick buck.
Yeah. And so, I mean, look for services like that, especially if you're into producing.
Yep.
And you can make music from home. There's still lots of business going on in terms of people making content online where maybe they need a theme song for their podcast or their YouTube channel or what have you. And so, don't even think about the dollar amount too much right now.
You just need to be busy.
I think people are going to jump straight to that. It's like, well, I need to make this much money. I need to make that much money. And yes, you do, because the situation is kind of dire, probably for some people more than others who don't have as much savings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I do believe the aid is coming. Don't blame me if it doesn't. But I think
I'm going to take your word for it, Al. And if I can't make rent, it's your fault.
I think that it seems as though our government's response to this is they are understanding the situation that this is putting people in.
Yeah, they're not just like, oh, you can't go outside, deal with it.
Yeah, and in order, rather than just saying you can't go outside, deal with it, they're like, we have to take measures. This is so serious that we have to take measures where people feel as though they don't have to go outside. And that's what they're doing. So I think it's more important to keep yourself busy, keep yourself creatively fulfilled. And I mean, any of these things that I've talked about, the podcast, Twitch, YouTube, it's all stuff that's building towards the future. But think about right now as almost a gift in a way.
100%. The way that I'm thinking of it is if this goes on for 3 weeks, some people are just going to be getting drunk and blah, 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 and watching like Netflix. But I have 3 or 4 weeks to get ahead of the curve. You can practice a bunch. You could, exercise a bunch. You could start getting it for your album if you want to get, your album going. You're being given these weeks.
That's the thing, is like, especially if the aid does come and your rent is maybe relaxed and your situation, everything slows down. It's like, it's almost like if you want to look at it this way, and I understand that this is a serious situation and there are lives at risk and all the rest of that. And we're not trying to make light of that, but from our perspective, it's like you said, it's like you've been given these weeks where it's just like, you don't have to work right now. So you've got this opportunity to maybe build something for the future, like a podcast, a YouTube channel, etc. Right? Or a Skype lesson business or something you've been I really want to start doing this, but I don't have any time because I've got 3 gigs this week and 3 gigs next week and rent's due and I got to go work my other job because I'm trying to get, trying to juggle all these plates all at once. It's like now now you've got the time. So
we got 5 people watching again.
What's up, 5 people? Welcome.
5 people.
Thank you so much.
Where's the hello? Pop in the chat. Say some nice things.
Throw a thumb our way.
Is that like a thing? Do the thumbs help? Throw some of those bad boys.
It all helps. We appreciate you checking it out.
Yeah.
musicguypodcast.com if you want to hear.
Don't do it. Don't subscribe.
Just episode after.
Just come hang out.
Another thing I've been doing is working on my social media a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure everybody's going to be on social media even more than saturated. They were before. But I'm working with Jordan Careau, who is the social media person for Stereo Flavor.
Oh.
And she's already done a lot to help me sort of get my act together. So it's like, again, it's like I've got time. It's like, so I highly recommend people reach out to Jordan if you're.
How do you spell her last name?
It's Caroe. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it properly.
It's almost like row.
Yeah.
It's just got a "k" in front of it.
Yeah, and no W.
Careau.
And no W.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh Cohen.
Josh Cohen.
What's up, Josh? Miss you, buddy. How are you down there?
Oh, Catherine Rowe.
K-Rowe.
Your mom.
Hello.
Oh, she said we're looking good. She's talking about me, right?
Absolutely.
I'm all washed out. This sweater is very, very handsome.
Look at that llama.
Joshua Cohen, what are you doing?
Josh, how's the sitch down in Madison, Wisconsin? What's happening?
It's probably going to take him a second. There's probably like a delay.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So anyways, I think we made that point, right?
What?
That you treat this time maybe as a gift if you can.
Yes.
And spend it building some of these side hustles or other projects, creative projects, whatever. You don't even have to be making money on them. Maybe just take time for yourself. I know a lot of people have been saying like, read a book.
Or, like Joshua Cohen just said he is.
Practicing like crazy. Well,
I bet you he's working on a new bass tapping album.
He's always practicing like crazy.
Yeah, this is true.
So what else is new there, Josh? Good to hear from you, Josh. Man, I hope you're doing all right.
I'm sure.
Self-quarantine,
yeah. That's like my normal life. Self-quarantine.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, what else are we doing? So true.
It's true. Like nothing has changed for me except for the government supports my life decisions.
Love you, Josh. All the best, buddy.
I love you too.
So I think we made that point. So if you guys have any, absolutely, man.
Yes.
Spread the love, not the disease.
Not the disease.
Yeah, man.
I'll do my best. I don't have the disease to my knowledge, but if I do, you're totally infected right now. This is 2 feet away.
I'm in a relationship with a nurse, so my chances of getting it are pretty high.
Yeah. Yay.
But anyways, so let's move on to one last little topic here before we wrap up, and that's health.
Yeah.
So the gyms are all closing.
Which bums me out,
which makes complete sense because everybody's sweating everywhere and breathing super heavy and not wiping down their equipment.
Those idiots that don't wash the equipment off after they use it, that pisses me off.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that whatever that liquid is in a paper towel isn't going to disinfect anything. It's just to make people feel better. But it takes 20 seconds to a minute to properly wash your hands.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't been doing that.
No. I just learned how to wash my hands properly just the other day.
Did your girlfriend teach you?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So here's what you do.
She has to be really particular. This is good. This is useful.
Yeah.
Show the people how to wash your hands.
So here's what you do. So you do the usual, rub your hands together as you normally would. Okay.
Smush.
Got to go hard. Got to go aggressively.
Really?
Oh yeah.
How aggressive?
You got to scrub.
Like what would you compare it to pressure wise? You know what I mean? Like squeezing something?
Like you're scrubbing. Scrub.
What's that noise in the background?
That's somebody flushing the toilet.
Okay. Yeah. That threw me for a loop. Anyway.
So you got to scrub.
Okay? Scrubbing.
And then you got to get in between the fingers with your
smart.
Other fingers because all this bacteria builds up just in between your fingers where they join with your hand. And so you want to scrub that. Then you want to scrub each fingernail individually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then you do the original motion again. And then you can even do your wrists.
Okay.
Just to get some of that. Yeah. And so that whole process is supposed to take at least 20 seconds. So don't you tell me that spraying some kind of combination of Lysol and water and wiping it down barely with a paper towel makes a difference at the gym. But gyms should be closed, and they are. So I'm thinking it's home workout time.
Hey, what are you going to do?
I don't know yet. I'm wondering. Will sent something that looked kind of
promising.
Well, I don't know. The guy looked like he was on HGH, so
that's dope. I feel like our podcast would be a lot better if I was on HGH. Joe Rogan's on HGH.
Is he?
He is self-admittedly. He's like, it makes me feel great.
That's weird.
It is weird, but I'm not going to take HGH, guys. No. But, still. Anyways, proceed. Sorry. I feel like my job is just to interrupt you.
Yeah.
You get right into a rant, and I'm like, crunch.
Interjection.
Yeah. Stop.
Yeah, I don't know very many good home workouts. So do you?
I had a phase where I was doing yoga a lot. This is when I was not working a bunch. And it was good for my mental health. I felt almost too good afterwards. What is
HGH? Human growth hormone? It's like steroids.
Yeah.
Like anabolic steroids.
It's like exactly. It's a thing that's produced in the body, but they like add more to themselves to, get real
jacked.
Yeah. Apparently it's
D's, as they say.
Yeah. It's human growth hormone. Yeah. That's the one. That's what it is.
Yep. So you're saying about yoga?
Yoga, like it was also too, it's good because, we can rest our bodies. Maybe you're exercising a bunch and you can, stretch your stuff out. It's good for guitar because we're all like hunched over and my posture's horrendous.
Good for posture. Yeah. Good for mental health, you were saying?
100%. Yeah. I've never felt better in my life. I went to group classes for a while with yoga and it was the bomb.
Yeah.
But can't be doing that now.
No, but I'm sure there's a lot of resources online that you can dig into. And I know that Good Life, of which I'm a member, is offering free home workout courses.
Really?
That I guess they would normally charge for to their members since all their clubs are closed.
Yeah.
So there are resources out there. I find it hard to stay motivated to exercise when I'm not going to the gym.
Yes.
Like going somewhere to do it makes me do it. But it's definitely an important thing to try to do. And those are some resources right there to use. Yoga's a great one. What was the other one? Something X?
P90X?
P90X.
Yeah, people like that.
Was that a home workout thing?
That's a home workout. Yeah, it's pretty intense. Seems pretty intense. I feel like yoga is the light one, and then home workouts are a thing, and then P90X is like, if you want to
yoga can be crazy hard.
True that.
Yeah, and K. Rowe saying go out for a walk.
There we are. This is true.
Yeah.
If you have a dog, a pup.
If you have a dog, that's great.
As K. Rowe does.
Yeah.
A great pup.
Yep.
Shout out to, I don't know his name.
Toby.
I was going to say Ollie. It's close enough.
Toby the dog.
Shout out to Ollie.
As long as you keep, social distancing and all that. But go outside, get some fresh air. Go for a hike, maybe if the weather's a little bit better or what have you. So that stuff is all great. And I would encourage folks to make sure that they're doing that. And in terms of diet as well, now is a great time to take a look at your diet and maybe make some alterations because we're not going to be going out to restaurants as much.
And you can also count your calories a lot more specifically. There's cool apps for that too. There's apps where you literally just type in the food, it looks it up, and then it gives you different portion sizes, and then you just plug it in, and then that way it's like, I can see how many calories I had. This is why I'm such a fat fuck.
And we had a episode on diet a while back where you sort of explained your intermittent fasting.
The only problem is I look kind of chubby today.
Yeah, you look great.
I need a haircut. Really, that's the big thing.
Yeah,
I got a lot of this stuff. It's affecting
and just how to eat super clean and stuff like that. So if you guys want to go back and check that out, and there's tons of resources on diet. I'm just cautioning people. I think what's going to happen is once the restaurants get closed down, they might still offer takeout. Like
they are.
McDonald's drive-thru is probably still open. So try not to get into the habit of just like only getting fast food drive-thru.
Slamming some Big Macs.
We will still be able to buy groceries. So buy some stuff that seems healthy, and maybe now's the time to sort of take a take a new approach to your diet if that's
Yeah.
something you've been meaning to do. It's just let's try to pull some positives out of this situation.
100%. Whenever in your life as an adult are you gonna have 2 or 3 weeks to just be?
Mm-hmm.
When is that ever gonna happen again? You know what I mean? 2 or 3 weeks is enough to like write a book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can write a book about something and sell
That's
it to
true.
people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write a manifesto.
Yeah.
It's gonna be about the apocalypse.
There you go. Yeah. So just some things to think about. In the meantime, we will be continuing this podcast.
Yep.
Possibly over the phone, depending on where I am or where you are.
So you I'll be here.
Yeah.
I mean,
I might be here. I might be downtown at my girlfriend's place, but
you can't bring like an interface and just hook her up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just bring an interface, hook her up.
Oh yeah.
Do it over the phone and
exactly.
You record your stuff and I'll plug it into Pro Tools and vice versa.
Exactly. And check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv.
Yes.
/Alro Music.
Twitch too. I don't have.
You're gonna Twitch?
I'm gonna Twitch hard. We should Twitch together.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we should Twitch out.
Dude, it's so fun. Just be careful out there. We hope you're all being healthy. And if you do have symptoms, don't go to work. Don't go out. Try not to go out. Get tested.
Even
go
if
to the
you
doctor.
Don't have symptoms. Don't go out because I mean the incubation period. That's one of the. Ooh, so this is a tangent. I know that we're trying to wrap it up here.
Yeah.
But so I played this game. You remember Newgrounds? You ever go on Newgrounds?
It was like a website platform.
Yeah, it was a website platform. They had little games on there, and that's a pandemic game.
Okay.
And the whole thing was you trying to make a disease that would spread across the earth and, kill the most people. It's imaginary, folks.
Yeah.
Nobody was dying. But you could tweak little things like incubation period. And the longer the incubation period, yes, the longer the incubation period, the more effective the virus is. So the reason why they're very concerned about this disease is that I don't know if it has the longest incubation period for this sort of thing, but it has a really long one. I think it's 7 to 10 days.
Yeah. So
you could literally feel like right as rain, and then 7 to 10 days from now, you could be sick as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that's why you should
and all the while you could be passing
apparently it passes on the best when you don't have symptoms.
Yeah. So that's
real rough.
And that was something that was not being made clear early on.
Yeah.
Early on there was a lot of conflicting information about that. It's like if you have symptoms then you pass it.
Yeah.
Now it's like no, you got way more. And if you guys listen to the Joe Rogan podcast that we'll link, they did some tests on folks with coronavirus.
Yeah.
There was more bacteria in their throat and around their mouth and stuff when they were in this incubation period and didn't have actual symptoms. So, it's scary times, but we're going to get through it. The world will get back to normal eventually. I would expect not for quite a while, but
how long do you think it is? What's the Alro prediction?
3 months minimum.
3 months.
Yeah.
Now, do you mean 3 months of us just chilling or 3 months of just like, oh, well, we got to be cautious?
I think it's going to be at least 3 months of like at least what we're in right now.
Really?
That's my feeling based on what I've read and seen and all that stuff. But no, but you know what the fact of the matter is nobody knows.
That's exactly it.
And nobody knows the full extent of how this disease works. And they haven't figured it all out yet. So the best plan of action is just to be careful.
Yeah.
Social distancing, all the rest of that. Stay home. And it's not worth it. And I'll just reiterate this one more time. If you're thinking, man, but if I go to work today, I'll make $150 or $200. And what if that's the last time I can make this money before we all get shut down?
Yeah.
I just don't think it's worth the risk.
Well, you can't conceptualize the idea that, the people that you're going to see have grandparents, or maybe they're taking care of their sick parent or something like that. And it's people could die, man.
Yeah, it's super serious. And the fact of the matter is that there's not enough
somebody said
information.
Something.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Bauer. How are you, Chris? Is this a music podcast or a public health forum?
This is mandated by the government.
We're definitely
spread
not
the word.
an official anything, so don't.
Don't take our word for it.
Oh, can I rant about something real quick? Actually.
Oh boy,
This set me off.
I
forgot to mention this actually early on when we were talking about government aid, the banks have all come out and said, we have a fund for people who are affected by COVID-19. So do I expect the banks to help us? No.
Yeah, that's odd. An odd move for the banks.
No, well, I'm sure it's mostly just their publicity. People just being like, you should sound like heroes here. But worth a shot. And I did hear one story from somebody today where they emailed TD and they got their car loan postponed or whatever, so they don't have to pay it during this time. So worth a shot, especially, again, for folks like us where all of our work is suddenly dried up. It can't hurt to call your bank or email them and be like, hey, look, this is what's happening. I've been a customer for 20 years and please help me. You know, it can't hurt. And I got no shame in doing that. They've taken tons of money from me over the years. So
also too,
give a little bit back.
If we're not making any money, then you got to do something.
Yeah.
Like if it's going to be 3 months, like you think it is, summer's going to be shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And summer's our main, our main time. Okay, but here's what I really want to rant about.
Yes.
How sick are you of I'm getting emails from literally every thing I subscribe to ever being like COVID-19 update. Our mission is to keep you as safe as possible during this uncertain time and blah, 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 blah. And then basically just boils down to use your own discretion and please don't blame us for anything ever.
Fair. I feel like everybody's jumping on this COVID bandwagon, as are we.
Well, I mean, we're discussing the issues that actually affect us. It's just like when I get an email from, I don't know.
Facebook.
Facebook.
Social network will not transmit diseases.
Chill out. Yeah. So anyways, one other thing, funny story.
What?
About 2 months ago, I went to Costco.
Yeah.
And I messaged you and I said, hey, do we need toilet paper?
Yes.
And I didn't hear back from you. And I was like, you know what? I'll just get some.
Just in case.
I'll just get some just in case. So I got a big old pack of toilet paper.
Are you hoarding toilet paper?
Well, this is what I'm saying is like I get this big old pack of toilet paper, having forgotten that I'd gotten a big old pack of toilet paper like a week or two before.
And I had gotten a big old pack of toilet paper as well.
So that miscommunication.
We're good. We're set here. We can't tell you our address, though, because we don't trust humankind.
And no, we will not be reselling it for profit.
Oh, I might be.
God, no.
I might be.
Fine. If anybody's hard up for toilet paper, hit me up.
I could send a roll.
I'm fine.
Don't need to play music.
Don't need to play music. We just sell our toilet paper.
There we go. That's a good suggestion, Bauer.
Old age is hell. Yeah. Can't remember how much TP, but so anyways, those are my stories and my rants.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, one thing as well, too, if people are looking to get Skype lessons going, like learning how to set up their own Skype lessons, like how I make most of my money, most of my days of teaching are private teaching, and I've gotten the most totally over Kijiji and some Google ads and Facebook ads. So if you not like want help, but if you want advice on how to set this up, like just message me or message us.
Or message us. Yeah. If you got any questions about music production stuff, if you're looking at maybe putting some energy
into
that during this
guy.
Time, hit me up. I'd love to help you out with that. If you want Skype lessons, either of us would of course be open to that as well. And we've got the setup and means to do it here. Yeah. So please feel free
just have a creative idea for us to spend our time, like a little group community project.
Yeah.
We should all writ a COVID song.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm into that.
And check me out, Music Mondays on Twitch, twitch.tv/AlRoMusic.
Eminem.
And I think that does it for today, yeah?
I
what do you think? Anybody got a question in the chat that we could maybe read out? Question of the week? That'd be cool. The other thing that's cool is that there's been some artists doing internet concerts. Apparently Coldplay did one. And John Mayer did one, so I want to go back and watch those. And Neil Young is apparently going to do one, so there's a movement towards some of that stuff.
An internet concert right here.
And also, we could. I mean, I'd
be way into that, if you.
Yeah, we'll have you on my Music Monday stream.
There we go. Fuck yeah. I'll pop in.
And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, apparently some movies are gonna be going straight to pay-per-view because all the theaters are pretty much shut down. Keith Urban's doing this too, apparently. Says
Keith Urban's so
KR
great.
in the chat.
I like him.
Yeah,
he's a nice guy.
Okay, one other question for you, actually.
Yes.
Give me 3 Netflix series I need to watch.
Ooh, that's
we got
a good
time.
one.
We got time for Netflix. Let's throw out 3 each.
There's no way that you're gonna spend this whole 3 weeks grinding every moment. You're gonna be watching Netflix.
You're gonna be watching Netflix. So So how about instead of watching something like Love Is Blind, or Spinning Out?
Yeah. Ooh, Love Is Blind. I think we should do an episode just about that show.
We could give people like actual good Netflix recommendations. Hit me. Give me one.
Yeah, you put me on the spot here.
Okay, what are you watching right now?
Okay, all right. So this is a fringe one. But if you've never watched anime, watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and give it like 3 or 4 episodes. It does some things that normal TV wouldn't do, and it goes to some places and it sucks you in. I'm not a big anime person, and I watched that and I was like, I get it now. I get why people like this shit. Yeah. What about you? What else do you got? I'll think.
Better Call Saul.
Oh yeah, I've been watching that.
Yeah, new season is out. I haven't watched it yet. I'm rewatching it.
I want you to think about this, and in some ways, this parallel doesn't happen. But me and Will have a very Chuck sort of
Chuck Jimmy relationship.
Yeah, because now see, he's more established than I am, but I'm definitely Chuck.
You're Chuck
for sure. I'm Chuck, and I'm just resentful, and he's just like, oh well, I'm just a cool guy that's charming and talented.
Okay.
All right. Anyways. What else?
I don't want to give any spoilers, but I kind of see it the other way around.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'd be glad to be Jimmy. Okay. I would love to be Jimmy.
Well, that's really funny, actually.
But
we got some suggestions in the chat here. The Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance is a book recommended by Chris Bauer.
Books are good too. Yeah, people read books, don't they? Oh, you know what? You should subscribe to fucking Audible. Audible's a great one. They give you a free book each month if you subscribe.
KR in the chat recommending The Crown on Netflix. Great series. I've watched that.
What
else you got on Netflix?
Yeah, I feel like some stand-up specials. Stand-up's good to mix things up. I really like Bill Burr.
Yeah.
I like Louis C.K.
Louis C.K. Yeah. Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle's great.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle's a good one. But
Breaking Bad, if that's still on Netflix. I haven't
seen Breaking Bad. Yeah.
Unreal. Breaking Bad. Deadwood, if you want to go way back.
Yeah.
That's an HBO show, though. So that might be on, what's the HBO one? Crave?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's probably on Crave. Deadwood, one of my favorite shows of all time.
I'm trying to think of other Netflix things that I watched. You know what I mean? I get to the end of a Netflix series and it.
Weren't you watching that Marvel show for a while?
Oh,
Jessica Jones or something?
Jessica Jones is okay.
You
know what's actually infinitely better than Jessica Jones though? Daredevil. Daredevil is
you were saying Daredevil was
fucking
great.
Real.
Yeah.
The first 2 seasons, especially season 2, the Punisher shows up and it's like I'm like kind of a nerd, but not really. Like I don't read comic books. If you do, good for you, like awesome. But I'm not a comic book guy. I'm just like a light television watcher, play some video games.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not gonna like this. This is too nerdy for me. But Daredevil just gets me jacked up. Also,
watch that.
He's jacked in it. Inspired me to want to be jacked.
Right.
I still have not met that goal, but one of these days, maybe I'll watch Daredevil, do some sit-ups. I'll be jacked in 3 weeks, and this podcast will be so much better.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, is that on Netflix?
It's probably on Crave or whatever.
Yeah.
But Game of Thrones. Watch the first 5 to 6 seasons. I think season 6 was good. Watch up to the end of season 6 and then just stop.
Yeah. Just let your imagination fill it in.
Just pretend that they ran out of runway and they couldn't finish the show.
Yeah.
And and then just stop right there. You will love that show so much.
I actually, one that I'm surprised we missed, Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, TPB.
Now, where would you start? Because I had this with Taylor. I was trying to introduce her to it, and I did a good job.
Yeah.
I started, I think, season 4.
I was going to say 3 would be a good place to start.
Like, I'm just trying to think what happens in 3.
I can't remember at this point. It's all a blur.
But don't start at season 1.
I remember season 1 being a little bit weird, but I think by season 3, the characters were all sort of kind of fleshed out and they knew what they were doing.
It's one of those ones where you have to watch 2 or 3 episodes and then you're like, I get this and I can just consume this.
It's so dumb that it's actually genius.
Yes.
You know, it's one of those shows. It's just like, this is too good.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's
That's a good suggestion.
Stranger Things in the chat there. Yeah. That's a great one. Okay. Let's take a question and then we'll call it a show. Our question here is coming from Chris Bauer. He says, what are you guys doing personally during this time? Are you guys fully self-isolating?
Ooh. I'm not doing it right now because
not fully self-isolating, but I haven't been home to see my parents, and that kind of bums me out. And I don't know if I will or not. As I mentioned earlier,
you don't want to get them sick, right? Your girlfriend's a nurse. And
my girlfriend's a nurse, so I'm still seeing my girlfriend. She's a nurse. I mean, at this point, like I probably haven't anyways.
Great.
Yeah.
So thrilled.
But I canceled my teaching. All my gigs are canceled. So I'm basically not going out for any reason other than to go for a walk or to get groceries or something of a necessity like that.
Have you stocked up? I'm stocked up. I got my big old bag of chickpeas and lentils and rice. And
I got about a week's worth.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm not doing any lessons. I'm not doing any hangs with friends or anything. She's doing okay, Chris. She's in a high pressure job, so she's used to this kind of stuff.
Has it changed much for her?
As far as I know, they're just doing some additional screening and basically just telling their employees, like, if you don't feel well, don't come in.
Yeah.
And like they have to scan in and out, I think, and but it doesn't sound like stuff has changed in a crazy way yet.
Yeah.
Because this thing hasn't really hit us yet. But
also too, if there's a zombie apocalypse, she's gonna be one of the first ones to die, Al. I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
Zombie apocalypse? Where do you go if you get bit by some strange man and get an infection? Go to the hospital, man.
Yeah, but she'll just be like, whoa, this is a zombie.
True that.
My boyfriend told me all about these things.
I watched Walking Dead.
Get the hell out of here. Yeah. She'll be fine. And then we'll have a nurse on our team.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, you live all the way in Toronto, so I don't know. I wouldn't be going in there.
Yeah. And actually, believe it or not, Chris, it's less so the concern of getting infected in the hospital. It's just more getting to and from work because she takes the streetcar. And I mean, obviously there's an increased risk at the hospital, but they do take very, very good precautions at the hospital. So
it's their job.
Anyway, so that's kind of where I'm at. I'm not like fully not going outside, not seeing anybody, but I mean, Mike and I are roommates, so we're gonna cross paths anyway.
So we sleep in this bed right here. No.
So we decided.
Have separate rooms.
We decided. Just to be clear,
we have separate rooms. They're very close to each other. Separate rooms.
Oh my goodness.
Separate beds.
So it's like we figured it was okay to do this podcast, but I'm avoiding any unnecessary visitation with other people. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I mean that is my problem. So my girlfriend's gonna go up north. So if zombies happen as a result of this, then she'll be fine. But I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna tough it out in Markham. But there is this situation. I have a bunch of wood. I have $400 worth of insulation to make into base traps for my corners, and I'm like, this would be a great time to do that.
Yeah.
But I gotta go to my parents in the garage though, and the garage is like an outdoor garage.
I think you can definitely go pick those things up if you want.
Yeah.
I mean, the question is, do you want to hang out with your parents or not?
And I don't want to hang out with them because I don't want to get them sick. Because if I killed my dad or mom, I'd be pretty upset about that.
That's the thing that's a bummer, right? Is you don't know if you're okay to do that or not.
Also, my puppy will be so devastated. I'm going to show up, pick up the tools, and not say hello to her.
Yeah.
She'll hate that. I can't have that on my conscience. But I'm going to do it. So I will have it on my conscience.
Oh man, I got another story. Sorry, we're
I don't care. I got till 3:00. So, my ringtone again. We can't edit this out. This has to be a fixation in the podcast. I bet you it's Willie. I told you it's Willie. Longer you call me too much. I'm just doing a podcast right now. I'm trying to teach people how to not get SARS. I mean, COVID, such and such. You're bad. Same diff.
Okay, so just a quick story here. I was at a dog's birthday party.
That's the worst.
On the weekend, and everybody was like, "Oh, we're not hugging, we're not shaking hands, we're not whatever."
You petting the dog?
Everybody's petting all the dogs.
Yeah, that's no good. I love dogs, and that's the problem. My dog, as soon as I would come in, she'd lick my face, and I'd be like, "Oh, that's so cute," and I'd give her a hug, and I'd get COVID all over her. You know what I mean? Maybe I can just take her for the week.
All right. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for tuning in on the live stream.
Yeah.
Great to see some familiar faces in the chat there.
We're going to do this more often.
We appreciate the support. Yeah, we got the means to stream it now, so we'll be...
and it looks good now. Before, it would look kind of janky, you know?
Yeah, no, it looks great now. So anyways, check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Music Guy Podcast, Facebook.
Yes.
Please leave some comments, leave some questions, and we would love to see you guys again. Be safe. Nice to see you too, Chris.
And if stuff goes to shit, Markham Home Hardware, I'll be there. I'll be wearing a leather skull mask, and I'll be rocking a flail and a 6-pack because I'm going to be working out.
Bye for now.